we've talked a lot about squats and why they're so important, but you know, squats are not just important for our bodies, but they're important for our balance. Kind of as in that position as we're shifting our knees over our toes and going down.
Can you get a hand on? It'll probably be easier standing up from there than. Yeah.
I really like for anybody that's at home
You want
to
a
go
hand or you
ahead
got it?
and
Okay.
use a chair. So put a chair behind you for these squats so that you have something that you're, so that you know you get a good depth. We're not, and when you're squatting to the chair, we don't want you to sit down into the chair. We want you to kind of, if you have the ability, just go down until you feel the chair and then come back up.
Weren't we supposed to do them on the Bosa balls or the foam?
Well, we can, and that's what I was gonna, but this is where we're starting. We're starting by just kind of demonstrating. So we're gonna have everybody do 10 squats, whether it's to a chair, whether it's without a chair.
Did you show them the way to...
Nope, not yet. Scott's gonna kind of demonstrate a good position for somebody with a below the knee amputation to do. With an above the knee amputation, a squat is going to depend a lot on the prosthetic knee that you have. So which is why I really like the chair, because let's just be honest, you're doing a single leg squat. Those are really hard. With the prosthetic knee is not going to assist you on the way back up at all. So, I mean, both of you guys should be able to just kind of come down with the knees that you have until you find that chair. And what you want to do is you want to kind of think about arms out in front, into a kind of a nose over toes position. There you go, Sean. There you go. Yep. Good? There you go. And the other thing is if the depth is a little bit much, you can put 2 chairs. You can stack the chairs on top of each other. And then that way you can kind of feel that transition. The transition point and keeping that tension from the bottom and then pushing back up while there's still tension is kind of important. So
can we get to this point right here?
Yep, you sure can. Yes, please. That looks fantastic. Yeah.
So if you're wearing a below the knee prosthesis, when you go down, you're going to get to the point where the heel's off the ground, you're driving all your weight on the front of that socket, and that can be uncomfortable. So what we teach people to do is if you turn the toes out like this, kind of in a position, you see how I've got my feet here, and then when you go down, you could see how the weight is still distributed evenly in the socket, and the main thing is that foot's flat on the floor. Foot flat on the floor gives us better balance and stability, and we're not getting excessive pressure in the socket, which could lead to pressure sores.
Bill, can you blow Scott up while he does that?
So I'll demonstrate it again.
There
If
you
you
go.
can see the feet, you see how I turn my feet out? Again, let me show you. If I have my feet straight, see how the heel comes off the ground? See where the weight is in the socket? If I turn my feet out like this, now look at how the foot's still flat on the ground and the weight is even inside of the socket. So you just go.
So you almost want to think about being in a position where your heels are as wide as your shoulders. So it might be a little bit wider than if you've done squats than what you thought it would have been. So you want to drive wide and then toes pointed out. And then as you go down, you're going to drive your knees outward instead of straight forward. You're going to drive out over your toes to come down. So we're going to do 10 of those. Whatever method, whatever pace you want, just try to get 10 of those in, because we're warming up again, and we're going to make this even a little bit more challenging for our balance here. Good. So now we're gonna do 10 more, but Scott's gonna pass out the foam mats.
So we're gonna have you stand on a foam mat. If you wanna challenge yourself a little bit more, you can have 2. The idea is the ground's a little more unstable, so we're gonna have to...
Do these grip? Good. How do these grip?
You want 2? 1 or 2? We'll do 1. Dawn, you want 2 or 1?
2.
Okay.
They're slippery too.
Everybody can. So yeah, if you could be careful getting up,
I
maybe
got 3 left.
stand up and then put them down.
I guess you guys lucked out, huh? All right, here you go, Stan. What, you're gonna pass? Okay. Somebody want two? All right.
So we're gonna do 10 more. Yep, we sure are.
Did 15 last time.
Right. Well, that's what you get for not following directions, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, you.
Getting to go anytime, right?
Yep. So do you feel how finding that balance point's a little bit trickier on the just on the, even though it's just a piece of foam?
I think the hardest part is getting your knee to bend.
Right.
I see bouncing on it.
Right.
It's a tendency to open it up.
Good.